want your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Let's get drastic. Building relationships to get you known, get you connected, and get paid.
Hi, this is Tony Harris Taylor with another amazing author of the Purpose, People, and Profits book for drastic results, how everyday entrepreneurs get drastic results. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching and Network in Action Global Partners, where we bring entrepreneurs together to build key connections for collaborations, relationships, and more referrals. And then lastly, I'm the host of the Viral Networking Conference and here in Houston in October 4th through 6th, 2023. So today I have my contributing author, Mr. Scott Bigley, who is literally playing with me in all those spaces, the drastic results as a coaching client, network in action as an NIA leader, and a sponsor of the Viral Networking Conference. Hi, Scott, how are you?
I am very well, thank you, Tony. And yes, we play in a very big sandbox together.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much for being a part of everything I have going on. I just love you for that. So this is going to be a special interview. I do have questions and we're going to ask those questions, but I also want to tell the story about how we met. So in 2008, we both worked for a large insurance company, and he was actually my manager. And we just hit it off instantly. 6 months later, we got laid off. He lives in Tampa, Florida. I live in Houston, Texas. And I just loved him so much. I wanted to stay connected. And I was very intentional about it. Even before I even knew why being intentional with connections was important. And so every time I would go to Florida, I'm like, I'm coming to your state. And one time he drove over 3 hours to be in my presence. And I just want to thank you for being such a good friend, first and foremost, and just staying in my life all these years.
Tony, it has been my honor and my privilege. And thank you to you also for allowing me to stay connected and be a part of your life. It has been a richly rewarding relationship.
Thank you. So in your own words, who are you and what do you do?
I am Scott Bigley, the proud CEO, owner, whatever the proper adjective might be, of Forever Forward Financial Group, located here in Greater Tampa Bay, Florida. We are a full service financial planning organization, but we specialize and helping people understand and utilize the best kept secret to accumulating wealth that basically everybody knows about or probably has at least heard about, but don't implement.
Mm.
And so we spend our days and our time helping people understand how money works, but really understanding this one secret.
And I love the secret. Through our coaching together, we just said, how are you different? And so this secret makes you different. And I think we might talk about the secret or not. I don't know. I'll let you run in control of that. But it is it's the best kept secret that the wealthy know that the average middle American does not. And so we're going to talk about that. So, okay, we work together on the corporate side, as I said at the beginning. And then when we were laid off, what happened next? What did you decide to do, and why did you go in that direction?
Well, as you recall, it wasn't the best of times.
It was not.
Economically. For someone in my industry, in the financial services industry, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess for a couple of years, as people will recall. So it was really a time of, okay, what do you do and how do you reinvent yourself within an industry that was in total chaos? And that's when I really began to make the move. It didn't happen overnight, that maybe what we had been doing, or what I had been doing within my industry, and maybe what we had been doing as an industry, wasn't working. We had kind of fallen into meeting people and telling them what we thought was best for them. It was our agenda. It was our agenda. What I kind of came to the realization, and I think the industry is getting there, that really, if we want to be effective at what we do, we need to make sure that people understand how money works, and that we have to take more of an educational, or what I like to call a financial literacy perspective, teach people. So things like the best kept secret to accumulating wealth aren't secrets anymore.
Right. That part. And and here's the deal. A lot of people in your industry, the ones who have the licenses, they even know the secret, but they are not sharing the secret the way that you are, with the passion and with really helping uncover that, so that we can truly leave generational wealth.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we've probably teased it enough. And again, it's a secret that everyone has at least heard about.
They know about it.
And many of the people I talk to have actually talked about it. But you're right, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus in any way, shape, or form, but it's not presented, it's not taught to people in such a way that they get that what makes this secret powerful is the Internal Revenue Service says it's okay. It's legal. There's nothing funny about it. It's not that sounds too good to be true. And what we say to people is, the way that you really begin to understand how money works is you have to understand the rules. And there's this big book, and I'm not suggesting anybody run out and buy the book because it's the Internal Revenue Code. It's a boring book. But you're absolutely right, Tony. Most of the people in my industry, they know the rules, but they don't share the rules. We try to share the rules. And we do share the rules. And we say, do you realize that all the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis are costing you time, are costing you money, and preventing you from achieving your goals? Let's learn the rules. If you truly want to win at any game, I don't care what game it is, the way you start is you learn the rules.
Yeah.
And here's a novel concept. And if you play by the rules, generally you turn out okay.
Yeah.
Generally, you put a W in your column. So we teach people the rules, show them the rules that apply to their individual situation, either as an individual or if they're business owners like you and I. Oh, and by the way, the Internal Revenue Service loves business owners. The secrets that are available to business owners.
Wow. Wow. Well, okay. We've kept it a secret long enough. So
Yes, we
what
have.
is the secret?
You know what the secret is? And I'm going to give our audience a chance to get a glass of water because they're going to have agita. Plain and simple, short, quick answer is life insurance. But a specific type of life insurance. A life insurance that is generally called cash value life insurance. And what makes this secret so powerful is this. It will allow your money to grow safely in a this is a key word, tax advantaged environment, meaning your money will grow, it will grow safely. And here's the best part. The government winks at you that when it comes to taxes, you're okay.
It's the best kept secret, period. And I don't care what you feel about discussing life insurance. If you get a life insurance policy, it's not going to kill you. Let's start there. But and the reason why it's a secret, and I am going to put them on blast, is because the politicians wrote it for themselves.
Yep.
And that is why it's the best kept secret. That's why it has not been removed from the books all the way down to today. And if you know these secrets, you can do what these wealthy politicians do. And that is grow their money. You say tax advantage because you got a compliance. I say tax free.
And you can say that. And your point is well taken, Tony. We sit as citizens year after year and listen to the Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate battle about tax reform, tax reform, tax reform. And yes, every year there are changes to the tax code about how we're going to tax your investments or how we're going to tax your IRA or how we're going to tax this or how we're going to tax that. But you know what they never change? The tax code as it relates to cash value life insurance. And the reason they never change it is what you just said. They all have it. They all have it. So why would they cut off their own noses to spite their face?
And they all have it, and they know we don't.
That's correct.
So they know we don't have the secret, and that way they're not missing. They know we're not taking advantage of it. So anyway, I'll move on from that. So let me ask you another question. So the book is called Purpose, which we just heard your purpose, and People and Profit. So I want to talk about people. And I'm actually going to deviate from the script a little bit. Who are the people who have been instrumental in helping you to find your purpose and your why?
Well, not to sound like I'm playing to the host, but Tony, you have been extremely instrumental and inspirational to me, both personally and professionally. Your wisdom, and this is your secret with me. You're one of the few people that when you call me out, they actually listen.
Because you
I
know you
actually,
want to get
I, act-
love just to make
I actually sit there and go, yeah, she's right. You know, but so you, of course, without playing, but I need people to know that you are the type of person that if someone allows you into their lives and if they are willing to be coachable and teachable, the
Mhm.
impact that you can have on their lives, if because you've known me a long time, it's tough for me to check my ego at the door. It's hard for me, you know,
I
but
don't.
you have that skill. I think one of the, you know, the people that have also inspired me to kind of get into this business were really my parents. My father was a pastor, raised 5 kids, put us all through school, making $6,000 a year.
Wow.
You know, now when you're a kid, you don't see that. But now that hindsight is always 2020, when you look back on that, you scratch your head and you think, how in the world did they do that? And it wasn't my father. My father worked. It was my mother.
Mm.
My mother, with just a high school education, and I say that with in no,
Mhm.
was able to stretch. And my mother understood how money works without the benefit of all the information that we have available to us today. So mom and dad really, and really my mother, and even to this day, um, she gets it. She is
Mhm.
able, she is able to make things happen financially for herself. But also when I just look back at what she and my father were able to do for us as kids and continue to want to do for us as kids, even though all the kids have doing very well. You know, grandma is always like, "Oh, I'll take care of it." It's like, no, we got it. So, you know, and I think as I've been in this business, the people that, you know, have inspired me are the people that look at what we do from the same perspective, that it's not
Mhm.
about you, Scott. It's not about I have this mutual fund to sell or I have this investment portfolio to sell. It's the people who say, let me sit down with Mr. and Mrs. Jones, or let me sit down with the business owner and say, tell me a little bit about what's on your mind, and then tell me how someone like me might be able to help someone like you.
I love that, Scott. Oh, and your mother being such an inspiration, such beautiful stories. So now,
Uh-oh.
is being a financial professional easy? Like, it's a lot of y'all. Y'all make it look easy. I remember when I was in as a investment advisor, we make it look easy because everybody wants to be one. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced in your business?
Um, well, the biggest challenge we're still kind of working out of, and that was the pandemic, COVID.
Mhm.
Um, uh, that that experience, that 2.5 years, these past 2.5 years have for me, you know, because I'm old school. I'm old school. I came up in a time where you went out and you met people, you shook hands, you hugged babies, you did all of that. COVID changed that. COVID. So the most recent challenge that I faced in my business is learning new school methods, this kind of stuff. I didn't do this kind of stuff 3 years ago. If Tony wanted to meet with me, I would jump on an airplane and fly to Houston and spend 3 days,
Mhm.
or whatever the case may be. If a client needed to see me, it would be fine. I'll drive down to St. Pete and we'll sit and chat and have a cup of coffee and you tell me what's going on.
Mhm.
So
COVID
for an
changed
old,
that.
oh, it's all changed. So for an old dog like me, I had to learn a lot of new tricks. But here's kind of the plus side of that challenge. is it's dragged me into the 21st century.
Mhm.
And because I got, and I was kicking and screaming, but the outcome is I have, as a business owner, and I'm going to put my business owner's hat on right now, because of that challenge, I am far more productive, far
Mhm.
more efficient,
Mhm.
and far more profitable than I ever was.
Mhm. That's
I would,
beautiful.
yeah, I would drive around, and Tony, you remember this back when we were together. We would drive all over. We might have 5 or 6 appointments booked for the day. We drive all over town, 8, 10 hours a day, for 3 of them not to be there, one of them to say I forgot, and
Mhm.
the 5th who met with us goes, call me back next week.
Mhm. Yep.
So we spent all day and got 0 accomplished, other than making the gas station owner wealthy, because we had to get
Yeah.
gas up
Right.
again.
Right.
Make whoever we ate lunch at, made them wealthy because we had to eat. Today, I can sit here because I work out of my home. That's a blessing. And I can do 12, 15 appointments a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm far more productive, efficient, and profitable.
And you have removed state borders. You've removed
Yes.
borders from your business, right?
Yes, very much so.
But there are a lot of, I'll just say, third quarter people who have not pivoted, and they have been stuck. And what I love about you is that you, even though you throw I'm an old guy out a lot, I've seen it somewhere where the best quarter of your life is in your 60s, then 70s, then 50s. So you're in the prime, and my hat is off to you that you are hanging around younger people and embracing new things. We just learned about AI together, and you're like blown away. And it's changing the game. And if you don't change with it, you will be left behind. So yes, awesome. So I have another question. So what's your inspiration to keep going? Because you do say, like I said, that I'm an old guy. Why do you keep going? You could sit down somewhere.
I could.
You could.
I could. But what keeps me going is when I am working with, again, either a family or a business owner, and I like to call it, they get to their aha moment.
Sure.
They get to that aha moment as we're working and discussing and planning and for me, it's all about asking the next best question. So they don't get upset with me, but they get upset with me. They say, Scott, do you ever stop asking questions? And my response is, well, no, because if I stopped asking questions, it's no longer about you. It becomes about me.
Right.
So I need to know about you. But when they get to that aha moment, when that individual, that family, that business owner looks at me and goes, oh, Scott, so what you're saying is, if I could do something like fill in the blank, this could happen for me.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me, that's when I know that the system or the process that I'm working through actually works.
Yeah.
See, for me, self-discovery, because I also come from a training and education background. When a student discovers on their own, it's far more impactful and meaningful than if the teacher, and they kind of sit there and go, okay, I got it.
Right.
But when they sit there and go, got it, now that will empower and enrich that individual to then make the commitment and have the discipline to implement the change for themselves.
Absolutely.
And you just kind of become the shepherd of that flock, saying, okay, let's kind of move this direction, but you have to get there on your own. I'll be there to, pap you along if you start straying a little bit, but it's yours. That was your idea. My idea, my role was just to get you to that idea. So
I'm going to switch gears a little bit again and ask about networking. You decided to step up and be a network and action leader. Why did you do that? And why is networking important for business owners?
I did it because the benefit of it is untold. Networking actually, again, thanks to you, Tony, was one of those kind of outcomes of COVID. The benefit is what we talked about earlier. It has expanded my business. While I'm licensed in 40 some odd states, I never really did a lot of business outside of the state of Florida. 3 years ago, 90% of my clients were here in Florida. That number is now, moving in the opposite direction, where I am, simply because networking has allowed me to expand. This is the key. My ability to quickly and concisely get my message out. Who am I? What do I do? And why do I think it's important? To a whole bunch of people in a whole lot of different areas. And then have those individuals give me a call in a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever it might be and say, hey, Scott, hey, Scott, it's Tony out in Houston. I was chatting with a friend here the other day that's really struggling with, will you please give them a call?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's the importance to business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever. The ability to quickly and easily and concisely get your message out for basically almost free, and then be connected not only with potential clients, but one of the other big impacts of being involved with you on the network and action side is it has also introduced me to people who are good at the things that I'm not good at.
Yeah, that part, the resources, the people do what you need done. I love that.
Yeah. So I am now in touch with people who can help me clean up my my social media presence, that are helping me brand myself better, that are helping me get better at talking about who I am, what I do, and why it's important. So gaining clients is great, but the biggest impact for me is meeting people that we've met and that we meet every day through network in action, that improve me not only personally, but improve me professionally, has been far more beneficial than the clients I've picked up. For me, that's the real importance of our partnership inside Network in Action.
Love it. All right. I know you love to play golf. So how do you balance business and personal life?
I manage my calendar. One of the issues that and I know you see this every day too, is that business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever we like to call ourselves, don't manage our calendars. We get as we like to say, we get so busy on working in our business, we don't work on our business. And so our business becomes, the great green glob, and it just sucks up everything. I manage my calendar, and I do it very fundamentally. On my calendar, I have 3 times. I have yellow time, I have green time, and I have pink time. Yellow time, and I actually mark my calendar, from 8, for most days for me, from about 8:30 in the morning till about 10 a.m. is yellow time. That's administrative time, when I return phone calls, send emails, yada, 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 yada. Green time. Green is the color of money. Green time is when I'm meeting with people, scheduling appointments, doing Zoom calls, those type of things. When I'm actually out working with clients, I'm either prospecting, presenting, or following up in green time. Pink time, since I'm surrounded by women in my family, pink seemed like it was the appropriate color. Pink time is the blocked out time with my family.
Yeah.
So I manage my calendar. I don't allow my business.
Mm,
And this sounds a little cold or mean. I don't allow my business or my clients to manage my time.
okay.
I manage my time.
I love that. And you could probably teach a class in that. What advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs, in particular, those going into financial services, since it's such a, that is just a challenging business. And so what advice would you give them?
You're going to hear no a lot more than you hear yes, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's true
I
for all
mean,
of us.
for all of us. I don't care what business you're in, because what I say to people is, especially, from a guy's perspective, think back in high school. You asked a lot of girls to the prom. Most of them said no,
Yes. Yeah.
but you're going to hear no a lot more than yes, but that's okay, because each no is getting you closer to the yes. But more importantly, if you truly believe in yourself and you truly believe that what you're doing, no matter what that might be, that you sharing that information, you sharing that message is going to benefit someone else. And that's the key. What I do is to benefit someone else.
Yes.
If I benefit someone else, I will
You will
receive,
win. That's right.
I will receive my reward. And it doesn't always have to be money.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be money. But for that aspiring entrepreneur, never stop believing. It's got to be at your core that the information that you have, the service that you provide, will change someone's life, and you change people's lives one at a time.
That's right. That's right.
all you got to do. That's all you got. So don't stop believing, as Steve Perry used to say, don't stop believing in yourself and your ability to change people's lives. But you got to do it. You got to do it with a giver's heart. It can't be about me.
Yeah.
What I do is for the benefit of the people who choose to work with me.
Love it. So, last question. What quote inspires you?
Oh, my favorite quote of all time. In the never-ending battle of water versus rock, water always wins. So be like water and learn to flow.
Wow. I love that.
That's of all time. I love that, because it's true.
It's true.
So many of us get stuck in being, but the people who truly, in my experience, in my lifetime, people that experience realize, okay, I hit that obstacle. I can either try to move through the obstacle, or I can learn how to flow around it. So in the never-ending battle of water versus rock, water always wins.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Scott. So many nuggets of wisdom in this conversation. I believe that your best is yet to come. And I'm proud and grateful that you chose to run your best with me. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you. It's all on the background, but
it's all over my shoulder. Easiest way is to pick up the phone, 727-422-7761. Or my email address, foreverforwardfinancial@gmail.com, or jump on my LinkedIn. My calendar link is there. But would love to hear from anyone and we'll discuss anything: golf, finances, how the kids are doing.
Yeah, and he will.
Whatever you want to talk about.
He will. So, and he also gives any hour consultation, and have this conversation about life insurance. Let's get back to the serious thing. Life insurance is what really the vehicle to build generational wealth. Done the right way, it can change the game. And I know when I went viral and started making the money I wanted to make, I only put it in my life insurance.
Yeah. Well, and you've heard me say it a whole lot. they call it life insurance for a reason. The difficulty is when people hear life insurance, they tend to think about, so you want to talk about when I die? It's like, no, I want
There
to
you go.
talk
But
about,
that's because the life part is a secret.
yeah, it's the
And
secret
so we are on a mission together to get that secret out into the
out
world.
there.
Thank you so much, my friend. I love you. And y'all just pay attention. We're going to be doing big things together. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Bye.
At Forever Forward Financial, our mission is to teach people how money works, thus assisting families and business owners to learn how to make more money, save more money, grow their money, and keep it all safe. We believe people need to have financial goals and build a financial foundation for their future. To schedule your free 2-hour consultation, call 727-422-7761 or email foreverforwardfinancial@gmail.com.
The dexterous lifestyle is meant for those of us who live hectic lives. But with the right tools, information, and resources, we can strive for order, peace, health, wealth, and calm. It's not too much to ask. We deserve a dexterous mind, a dexterous body, and plenty of dexterous spaces to support our dexterous lifestyle.